So let's try this again. Hi, guys.
Hi, Mr. Harris.
Okay. So what I want to talk about today are the essays we turned in earlier this week. They have all been graded. Everybody except one person earned a C. Now, when I see that type of result, I don't blame students for that. I blame myself. I apologize for not being clear on the instruction and clarify these statements. This is me with revised criteria for success, trying to reteach that content. So to preview what the rest of the week looks like, tomorrow is your writing day. You will have an option of 2 assignments. You will be writing either the essay that's due on Monday, right? Or you'll be revising the essay you got back after you've done this work. And basically, most of you, what you need to do to turn an essay from a C to an A is to simply rewrite one sentence, your thesis. I want to preview now how to write your thesis statements. Can we see this clearly, or as clearly as we can?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a sample prompt that we received, right? Do you remember this one about writing about what a good friend is?
Yep.
What I want to model today is what the thesis statement, bless you, my dear, what the thesis statement looks like with this revised criteria for success. So we have the thesis right here. What makes for a good friend is loyalty, because this means they will stand by you through difficult times.
Can I close this door?
Yes, you may close that door because that noise is making a lot of noise. Through difficult times. When it comes down to this thesis, I want to see how we can do when we're using this revised criteria for success. So, the first thing a clarified thesis does, can someone read this first criteria? Go ahead, try it.
Verified thesis is the last sentence of the body paragraph.
So that's fairly easy to accomplish, right? Now, the next 3 is going to really clarify a lot of the mistakes that I saw due to the lack of clarity in my instruction of thesis statements. Mr. Martinez, please read the second criteria for success.
Verified thesis accurately answers the trial by
So, what I want you to take a look at right here, the prompt says this. You're going to write an essay that describes what a good friend is. Think about what you value in a good friend. What are some of the things that they do or say that makes them such a good friend? Please write an essay and be as specific as possible. The word that repeats from the prompt, or the phrase, is what, team?
Good friend.
Is what, team?
Good friend.
The reason why it's important that we do that, Ariel, when we're answering the prompt, it basically forces us to directly respond to it. When you are taking words from the prompt and putting it in your thesis, it's very hard not to directly respond to the prompt. So when we're looking at thesis statements, we need to make sure, am I pulling words from the prompt and am I pulling it in the thesis? When you see something like that, check. Mr. Calhoun, please read the third criteria.
Verified thesis is a compound sentence.
Okay, so what makes something, let's just hands up from this, what makes something a compound sentence? What makes something a compound sentence? I'm going to choose an Ariel, then I'm going to choose an Josh. What makes something a compound sentence?
And but.
And and but, those are called what?
Sorry.
You can ask for help.
As you know, conjunction.
They're called what?
Conjunction.
What makes something a compound sentence, Josh? And those are what? They're compounds, not exactly. Ariel, and and but are examples of what?
Conjunction.
Examples of what? Examples of what, team?
Conjunction.
Conjunctions. Because is my conjunction. Okay, team? What I'm doing there is linking basically 2 sentences with their own subjects and predicates. This is the part where we got confused. A lot of us thought a clarified thesis was the reason why my party is a favorite because we have food, candy, and gum. That's one part of what makes a compound sentence. A compound sentence, however, has something else beyond it. And here, good friend is the subject, and everything else beyond it is the predicate. If you read the other part beyond because this means they will stand by you through difficult times. SP. The second part behind because has its own subject and predicate. In other words, you can literally have this be 2 sentences, right, team? What makes for a good friend is loyalty, period. This means they will stand by you through difficult times, period. It's a compound sentence when you use a conjunction, team, to turn 2 sentences into what?
One.
1. That's what a clarified thesis is. And this is the criteria where a lot of us will be struggling with. Is that clear? Okay then, so please tell me, Ms. Sanders. A compound sentence has a what? This is a what? Conjunction, and then after this, you should be able to combine two sentences into what? Now, if you cannot split up your thesis into two sentences, is that a compound sentence? Yes or no? Ma'am, you said yes, right? So if you could split it up into two sentences, is that a compound sentence? Yes or no? If you cannot split it up, is it a compound sentence? And your thesis statements must be what, team?
Compound sentence.
Must be what, team?
Compound sentence.
Must be what, team?
Compound sentence.
Mr. Luckett, please read the fourth criteria. So when you read this part beyond the conjunction, because this means they will stand by you through difficult times, there must be an explanation implicit in that. You just can't list reasons. You state your response to the prompt, and you give one reason. So, as a show of hands, raise your hands if this example clarifies how to write theses better than last week. I want to do a quick check. Raise your hand if you're still a little confused. Kendall, Martinez, and Josh. Okay, so I want to work with the three of you. I'm going to check in with you during guided practice, right? But you have your criteria right here. And what we're going to be doing today is practice writing two thesis statements. And then you're going to get started on your in-class essay. So, folder holders, take a worksheet from the folder, pass it to your teammates, and we're in guided practice.